Welcome everyone. I'm really Psalm and I hope today to guide you through a meaningful and personal ritual to say goodbye to Evelyn, to be a spark her soul in this life, from this life to the next. We begin with Psalm 23. Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai Ego Efsar, Vinodeshe Yarbitsein, Aleinu Kol Minachalim, Nafshi Yushover, Yanchini B'Maglei Tzedek Leman Shemo. Gam ki elech b'pegei tzamavet lo tirara ki atzad imadi. Shiftecha u'shantecha himayi nachamuni. Teroch lefanai shulchan neged tzararai. Kishanta v'shosi revaya. Atov esed yirfuni chaya. V'shavti v'eta v'korech. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Giving me repose in green pastures, leading me beside still waters. Oh God, paths for that is God's people for you are with me. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runs over. Surely goodness. The Torah that the first two in New York on February 18, 1930. Erin Ann Seeger. She grew up along with her beloved Lord in a tight-knit relatives who lived Same thing. It was the kind of neighborhood and where and where there's Wisconsin, exceedingly bright. But like shortly after graduating, Evelyn met Elliot Epstein. Elliot was visiting friends. Elliot flew back. Once the kids were in school, Evie went back to work. Her first job was working for a company that did press clippings. Evie was adept at searching out news articles to spot mentions of the company's clients. Really classic home. Evie enjoyed on Friday nights for fish sticks. Susan have one half child with loving parents. In 1971, Epstein decided to move back to Denver, seeking a lower cost of living and the quality of life. Elliot went to work in sales and was secretary, working at several companies, including Davidson Petroleum. She would later work at the EPA for several years. Evie and Elliot would often meet in a park for lunch in those days. Evie was a meticulous grammarian and proofreader. She was very organized and efficient and appreciated by her employers. Evie was very smart, and in a different era, perhaps she would have been an accomplished professional herself. This may have been a source of frustration for her, and she struggled with bouts of sadness. Yet she worked later in life. She found good needs very leaders. Evie had to love children and housemaid. They shared everything. Evie was always a few years ago. Throughout her life, Evelyn decided a few years ago that it's time for the spirit of release. She left it all behind and started a new chapter in her life. At Brookdale, she found many friends and was immersed in the social life of her new home. Evie's family and friends loved her for her sense of humor. She could be very funny herself, and she also enjoyed a good laugh. Throughout her life, she retained an astounding capacity for recall, remembering details from decades earlier. And yet Evie lived in the here and now. She was not prone to excessive nostalgia. She enjoyed life with friends and family and did not dwell in the past. Evie was keenly aware of politics and the news. She was vociferous in her opinions and spoke her mind. She loved to play bridge and canasta and other card games, and she excelled at all of them. She enjoyed socializing and was up for any kind of exotic food, even spicy cuisines. She was an avid reader and played word games and crossword puzzles. In their retirement, Evie and Elliot enjoyed travel, including a memorable trip to Israel for her grandniece's bat mitzvah. Evelyn Epstein will be missed by her large extended family. Her memory and legacy lives on in them, and especially her beloved children, Alan and his wife Jane, Stephen, Roy, and Susan. May Evelyn Epstein's memory be a blessing to those who love her. May she rest in eternal peace alongside her beloved husband Elliot, and may God bring comfort and healing to those who mourn. This time I'm going to invite Roy to share some words. Roy, will read the messages for her. Welcome to our group.
Thank you all for watching. Almost 10 years ago, I had the great honor of becoming Stephen Epstein's husband. With that honor came a privilege, one I chose, that of being Evelyn Epstein's son-in-law. Now that was indeed her name, but those of us who loved her called her Evie, abbreviated to just Ev by my late father-in-law, if we weren't her late sister Lorraine's progeny of 29 descendants, who likely first called her Aunt Evie, attaching the aunt and the and of course, three called her mom or mommy or mother. If getting a mother-in-law was like winning at lotto, I would have been the kind of winner whose prize is bigger than the GDP of several nations, and who buys a Gulfstream jet on a Caribbean island so fast that the neighbors never see him. But I think that Evie and I both got lucky in that we got each other. Being with her was a treat, and making her laugh was an extraordinary pleasure. Anyone who lived 95 years is going to see changes. But Evie's trajectory was especially acute. So she resolutely lived in the here and now. Every conversation began with two questions. How are you and what's going on? The recall of the 90+ years she lived through was laser bright. Staten Island in the 1930s was about as different a place from 2025 Colorado as can be imagined. It was a part of New York that was separated by a harbor from the rest of the city. You got there only by boat. And when you look at photos of Evie's neighborhood from the years during which she grew up, as she and I it looks like another planet. I need to share a word about the joy my husband and I got from the Q&A sessions we had with Evie about the past. If you found data in a census record, Evie would correct the wrong names, explain who on the list got married the following year and to whom, and where they lived and what happened to the kids they had. If she gave you a piece of data for her, but I never saw anything like Evie. I just ate it up when she left. This last few days was so unexpected, so shocking despite her years, that we have food in our fridge that we earmarked to bring down. Her family is still not sideways to a degree atypical given Evie's great age. Her great-grandnephew, Lance Lowy, is going to be bar mitzvah in New Jersey this coming fall, an event Evie was planning on flying to. Lance's dad, Jared, told us that when he shared the news about their Aunt Evie with Lance, he was very sad. And then he asked his dad how old she was. She was 95. Lance replied, oh well, that was understandable. When I told Steve this, we both laughed, and he said, my mom would have loved that. But he was still so much in the game of life that a couple of months ago, she asked for help with a little redecorating her home. And we sourced a new rug, a slip cover, throw pillows, a nice throw, all of which made her so happy. a 95-year-old bird still feathering her nest. She relished going out to restaurants with us on a Saturday night and scanned the newspapers and the websites of Jennifer's newest, best, and we make our way there. 3 people in their mid-60s and a nonagenarian. We took pride in enjoying a good meal while ruining the demographics of the hippest joints on the front range. I could go on and on about her thoughtfulness, her wisdom, a special kind of that we Jews often refer to as safety, her marvelous sense of humor, her lack of tolerance for fools, especially elected ones, this curiosity, her general gusto for life. But I might sum up this way. Evie didn't just to the Evie. The next one. And we meet again. A chapter of everything that's gone on. Godspeed and God bless you.
She was with us so we could spend as much time as possible with her. We all have stories and memories that instantly bring smiles to our faces. Great nieces and nephews treated her as though she was their grandmother. She was more than happy to reciprocate. She always loved when she received new pictures of the kids. We've always felt so fortunate that she was such a big part of our lives. At this time, we will be proceeding to the burial site. I believe we can bring everyone along.
Immediate family.
Oh yes, and before you all go,
take this left turn out to Sheridan. We have a blocked road. We want you to get blocked. We want you to smooth your way out that way to Sheridan.
before we bring in and Susan, that is Rodale.
Pick up now, so come up the sidewalk so we can load the casket. Clear. Please, everybody return to your vehicles now, please. If you're going to the cottage, stay here. If you're not going to the cottage, please through the main gate. When I say stay here, I mean in your cars.
You would know any time that